Yo guys, what is good? This is KINGSTON and today we are testing PUBG Battlegrounds. There is no seasonal update to the game as we usually do these videos on seasonal updates, but this time around the game is going free to play and I did not own this game before this, so I'm getting the free to play version and checking this for you guys. And of course, today we are doing the testing with our new GTX 1660. I've had the card for 2 months now, but this is the first video with it. Blah. This is the first video with it. So here goes. We tested the game at the 1440p resolution with the settings set to low. Basically low, but the texture quality was set to high. Now, why did I choose the 1440p resolution and not 1080p? Because this is a competitive game. That is another story because my system specs are not very good because I have a weaker CPU. So this video will be more relevant to those people who have a higher end graphic card and have a lower end processor with it. Basically, I've got the Ryzen 3 1300X. I'm gonna show you the specs so that you believe me that I have these thingies with me. And at the end of the video, we're gonna discuss the numbers, the average FPS we got, the 1% lows, the 0.1% lows. And the game is, if you wanna, know a little secret, the game runs well, it runs well. That's what I must say. But here we go. On the ground, without no sound, let's go. Now, I'm the, person who has never played this game. I mean, never on any friend's account or anything, never in any way. So I just got started with the game. Not that it is my first match, by the way. I've had a lot of PUBG yesterday. I've clocked in almost 8 hours in the game. And by the way, I forgot to tell you guys that I've logged the frames per second to 60 with the help of MSI Afterburner. Now, I'll give you guys a quick tutorial if you don't know how to do that. But let me tell you why I did that. Now, I did that because the FPS, as you might guess already, when you have a weaker CPU and a stronger GPU, suffer a lot. Because, the GPU is capable enough of producing that many frames per second, which the CPU cannot hold with. So if you know what CPU bottleneck is, then you know what it is. What am I talking about that is? So if you are in this kind of a case, you sometimes get, okay, there is a person, there's a girl. Gotcha. And my health is at 50%. CQB novice. I don't know what that achievement stands for, but we apparently unlocked it back then, when I was recording, that is. Now looting up, energy drink, 6x scope. Okay, just dropping in some ammo. I might even change the gun. Maybe. Looks like I'm confused. I'm very confused actually. But I still got the M416. We're gonna use that in the single fire mode so that we can get some ranged targets because we've got the 6x for it. Now, why did I cap the frame rate? In some cases, capping the frame rate when you are CPU bound, that is your graphic card is stronger than your processor and cannot keep up. When you cap the frame rate, like I've capped it at 60, I get better 1% and 0.1% lows. Yes, I do. That happens. I've done the testing for it for the case of PUBG itself. And there's an improvement. That's why we are doing at 1440p low with textures at high on 60 capped. Because if you don't cap the frame rate at 60, you're gonna get worse results. The averages are going to be better than this, but the lows or the stutters are going to be way more apparent. There's another guy. And I had the gun in auto fire mode. I changed it to single fire and swapped the gun. Gotcha, brother. What was that? Okay, so we killed him with the Tommy gun. The first guy was killed, or the first girl, I suppose, was killed with the Tommy gun itself, I think. And now we've got 2 freaking kills. Now, this was my best freaking match. Let me tell you that. if you're like thinking that this guy is like decent at this game, in 8 hours this is my best attempt. So I'm showing you the best, you know. Now my friend M17 just started playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege recently got on Game Pass as well. I've never tried that game either, and I think it has a steep learning curve. That's what has, you know, always kept me away from it, because I do not want to get into games which will take like an eternity to learn. So I just don't do that stuff. Though in the contrary side, or on the contrary side, I've just started playing Valorant. Don't close the video. This is not a Valorant or Rainbow Six Siege video. Let's just stop talking about him. Now, the average, as you can see at this point, is 60 frames per second. So a card is very much capable of maintaining that average. That's what you know for sure. The 1% lows at this moment are 50 FPS, and the 0.1 are 29 frames per second. Now this map. Oh, okay, that was easy. That was easy. Okay, there was a fight going on here. I did not hear the footsteps. Actually, I have my like volume very low right now, so that you guys don't hear, you know, two audios. I cannot see the other guy. Where you at, brother? Ah, there he is. There he is. Look at me. Why did I swap my gun? Okay, that was a lot of misses. Misses 101. Got another kill. What do you know about that, huh? What do you know about that? Good one. I don't know if that was a good one or not, but I've got some kills. Killing spree achievement unlocked. So that must be the first time I got 4 kills in a single freaking match. That's why we unlocked her. Yeah, look at this. Look at this dead body. Just lying there, you know. Boom. What was that? I don't know what was that. You tell me. So yeah, this map I suppose is Sandhawk. Now in this game, the performance kind of depends on the maps as well. You know, the averages are very stable whichever map I go on, but I think the lows are better on some maps and worse on the others. For example, Sandhawk is, you saw that stutter, right? Yeah, I did see that as well. For example, Sandhawk is, I suppose, one of the maps which is pretty good or pretty decent. I think this is Sandhawk itself. If it is not, it is also one of the maps that is good or better in performance than some other ones. Erangel, for example, I think, yeah, that's called Erangel, is not very good, you know. It's not like a drastic change, but the lows are going to be a little bit worse. Gunshots heard. Poor fella just dropped. Okay, somebody entered the... No, they didn't. I hit him for like one tick there. And now he ain't peeking. He just shot me the gun and I like took it. I don't know, he's a good one. That's what, you know after seeing that he did not peek. He's a good player. I'm just a, newbie starting out. Just spent 8 hours in total. And this is somewhere in the, 6-7 hour mark of me playing PUBG. So he's in the house right there. And my sights are like set there. I'm gonna ping that place, I remember. I'm gonna ping it. And boom, I pinged it. So now I was looking for a way to go there. And I found one, I saw this bridge here and took it. Just crossing the road. Don't mind me. Okay, we're gonna cross another bridge. Bridge in the gap. That's what I'm doing here. So just looting the guy that we killed last time. And first aids, adrenaline syringe. Nothing could be transferred, so I had to like clean some things out. And then I was looking in the inventory, adrenaline, painkiller, 6x. I was trying to take the 3x, but somebody chose to blow my freaking head clean off. That was it. So yeah, that was that. And now comes the time for the usage analysis and FPS results. Now, kicking things off with a GPU. Now, the GPU usage, as you can see in the video as well, like hovers from 50% to 80-90% mark. So we're not quite maxing out a GPU. Sometimes it's like only sitting at 50, 60, 70%. So basically not very good, But because we capped the frame rate at 60, the performance is much better than what it would have been if we did not cap the frame rate. Why don't you play at 1080p? That might be the question some people still have. Man, when you have a weaker CPU like this one, that is not like capable enough of holding up to the graphic card, that is 1660 in this case, increasing the resolution kind of takes the burden off the CPU somewhat, So I tested it on 1080p high as well, because again, tried to put the load on the GPU. That's why I chose the high settings. So I tried a variety of things. So this is what comes out to be decent in my opinion. Then the VRAM usage was anywhere from 4 gigabytes to 5 gigabytes. So I saw that like in the upper, 4 gigabytes part where it was like at 4800 megabytes or something. So if you want to use the high textures, you'll have to have like more than 5 gigabytes of VRAM. Now for the CPU, the story is just the same. The usage was hovering from 50% to 80-90%. And if you're like, somebody is gonna comment down below like you should not like cap the freaking frame rate, just trust me, that is what you should be doing in this case, in this very freaking case. The RAM usage was at around 10 gigabytes. Gone are the days of 8 gigabytes, or rather I think 1080p should be doable with 8 gigabytes, but at these settings, the 1440p low settings with high textures, the RAM usage was always around 10 gigabytes, or system RAM that is. Now, in a concise way, if I have to tell you what I was like talking about all around the video, in the intro, in the outro, and now even, this is the outro itself. Yeah, different maps were tested over 2 hours of benchmarking. So that's what the numbers are going to be, which I'm gonna share with you, the average, the 1% and the 0.1%. So different maps were tested, and as I told you in the video itself, that the performance kind of differs with some maps. Some maps have a higher stutter rate or lag rate, and some maps do not. Luckily, the gameplay I got you did not have that many stutters. So it's not like I'm trying to show you something fake, but by the very chance I was playing on a good map when I got a good match. So yeah, it's not like much worse if you're even like playing on the worse evil maps. The performance ain't gonna differ that much. So if you want to know which maps are the best for this kind of a setup where the CPU is underpowered, let me know if you want a dedicated video about that. I don't think many people will. So thankfully this game offers, I think it's like the lens going so freaking long. I do not want to make it long, but I have to get my point across. So thankfully, this game allows us to select selected maps and just queue for them. So we do not have to tackle the other ones. So if you know which maps do the best on your system, on your particular computer, you can just play those maps and ignore the other ones. I suppose that's how it works. Yeah, that's how it freaking works. So now finally, the result time, the FPS numbers, the frame rate. Okay, the average frame rate we got was a no-brainer 60 FPS because the frames were capped at 60. So average of 60, the 1% low frame rate was 48 frames per second, which is a very good score in my opinion. And the 0.1% low frame rate comes out to be 25 frames per second, which is not as much as I would expect from a 1660, but you gotta mind that a CPU is bringing things down. So life is not always perfect. You guys might be stuck in similar scenarios where you have a better GPU and a worse CPU. Your scenarios might be altered or, inverse of mine, but we gotta stick to it. We gotta get through the situation. We gotta have fun. That's the purpose of gaming, isn't it? We should have fun and enjoy the process. let's just not go into the philosophical side that much. My pronunciation, blah. Bye.